It's time to go big time here at Hollywood. This is WrestleMania 21, a recreated edition. Now, of course, a few facts before we begin, but before we begin that, we've gone through 20 of these. So far, we've not found one single accurate WrestleMania we can recreate in figure form. We can recreate a few of them. Mostly, I think it was 8 and 9. We actually couldn't recreate any from 11 to 20. So will 21 be our first of the next group? We'll find out. Now, this event took place on April 3rd, 2005, from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. The attendance was 20,193. Only 20 wrestlers participated at this event. Now, I watched this pay-per-view at a friend's house, a girl, not my girlfriend, but a friend's house where I was staying. This is around the time that I was on my own, and I was actually living at her parents' house for briefly about maybe a week before I woke up and she was rummaging through my stuff, and I just said, "I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this." I actually would go back to my apartment where my mother was at, where her and her boyfriend, who was like my stepdad, had broken up after 8 years together. He left, and she went and started dating a new guy. So I basically inherited this apartment at 18 years old and had my own place. But I remember watching this at her house with my buddy Byron. We ordered it late, so the first match I saw was Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, and then I kind of watched the other two matches and forgot all about the rest. So I finally did get the DVD of it, or the VHS tape. I think it was a VHS tape at the time. I was able to watch it, and right off the bat, that is a sick Eddie Guerrero. But unfortunately, in figure form, it doesn't exist. This is the WrestleMania. Again, this is not actually based on their attire. This is just kind of like hype up towards WrestleMania, or possibly it wouldn't be a throwback to WrestleMania. It would not be that because um, normally a throwback would be the attire. Like for instance, here this WrestleMania one. This is a throwback to attire he wore at the show. So this is it was almost like they build anticipation towards WrestleMania, but it wasn't actually from that. It was a different WrestleMania, a different wrestling match altogether. Blue trunks or blue tights, excuse me. With I think there's some decal there. The tag belt's all wrong. This is before they had the SmackDown tag belts. The Ray, however, is accurate 100%. Well, I mean not 100%, but it's there. It's the whole get up, including the weird part at the back of the mask. The second match, however, um, was the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match, and I forgot to put first. I just wrote Money in the Bank ladder match. Oh well. It is. You can recreate it. It is not accurate. Shelton's accurate. Jericho, for the most part, is accurate. It's more purple, obviously. It's more maroon color there. Christian, I chose. They don't have that Christian, but they have that time frame Christian, which is literally this is a Christian right after Trish had turned on Jericho during WrestleMania 20, and they'd go on for almost not necessarily a year. I think Trish might have bounced by then from him, but that's kind of like the Christian main area. He wouldn't have the classic looking, the instant classic look. It would just be more of the C's on the side and the C on the top. Great figure. It was a great figure for years. There's Edge. You can get the Mattel Elite Edge as well based on his WrestleMania Money in the Bank. You can see right here the Money in the Bank briefcase, just kind of standard briefcase, black I think it was. Benoit, it isn't red, but it's way more detailed than that. All I could find closest was his Backlash WrestleMania, which would be after WrestleMania 20, would be the Benoit that they had, which is a great Benoit as well. Of course, later on he'd get like Crippler or Wolverine or For Real or whatever it may be. He did have a Toothless Aggression figure, but that was way back when. So Kane, of course, came with standard for the longest time. He didn't change the look up at all. So it is not accurate, but you can recreate it. Streak continues. Randy Orton versus Undertaker. Now, you'll notice here that there is two individual figures of Undertaker. Of course, as he has his jacket. He didn't wrestle with his jacket on. And Orton has a shirt on. He didn't wrestle with a shirt on. So they have them in singles, but if you want them closely represented in actual figure form, then you want the 2-pack of Undertaker and Randy Orton. Of course, if you don't want the accuracy, you can easily acquire a Mattel Elite of those two. Um, I'm trying to think. I think Elite 55 has Undertaker in more of his American Badass type look, but close to this. Of course, there's basics that look like this Undertaker. Orton, there's quite a few, obviously switch the head, but the idea is you want to find the figures out there that represent it. Then you want this, didn't wrestle at WrestleMania 22, so this is basically hyped towards WrestleMania 22. It's it's technically from the SummerSlam match, but it's funny because it didn't look green to me, it looks blue to me, so. Then the next match was the Women's Championship, Christy Hemme versus Trish Stratus. No Trish, the attire exists. So while Christy is pretty accurate, they could probably shorten up the skirt a little bit and put some knee pads on there, but I'm not going to sit there and tell them how to sexualize a figure doll, whatever, action figure. Point is, it's pretty accurate. That's the attire. I think it's the only attire really she ever wore and wrestled. She wasn't very good, unfortunately. So she didn't last very long. She got one match at WrestleMania for the title. She didn't win. Trish retained. But again, you don't have the right proper Trish, so it's not accurate. Then you got Shawn Michaels versus Now this is the match. Like I said, this is the one I was able to join in late. This match stole the show. I didn't realize how special it was till watching it back a couple times. You can notice the deco is missing some on Kurt, and that's all it is. It's the deco. This is from their match. It represents from the match that they had. They didn't make a Mattel Elite of that Shawn Michaels attire, and I remember when he came out, thinking, oh, that's some cool chaps. I can't wait to see what's underneath. Because normally he has tights, and then he debuts these pants, and it took a while to get used to. I was not, I was waiting for him to be like, okay, where's the tights? Where's the Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 20? Where's the Shawn Michaels attires from there? And then he started wrestling in pants. It looked cool. Some of them were really cool. The greatest one, the one that I feel if they're gonna make an Elite or an Ultimate of. From the Roots of Aggression era, it should be WrestleMania 23. That red and white is just the sickest. I've got the basic on a shelf. Even when I get rid of all my wrestling figures one day, and I'm an old man, I've got just a case of stuff, and I can't keep everything. I'll still have that one figure because that attire is just so sick. Here's our first Void match. So right off the bat, we know, darn it, we were so close, but it's not going to be correct. There's no Akibono figure. Probably a good thing. I mean, the closest we get to a Big Show in Thong is the limited edition 1 of 500 Big Shows, which may or may not come with the belt. I think that was supposed to be the representation they were making with that Big Show. Excuse me, I've been doing a few of these tonight in a row. Just trying to get everything squared away for October. But yeah, sumo match. We don't have Akibono, so this match doesn't exist. But the 7th match of WrestleMania 21 is another one that 2-pack of Jakks Pacific came out with, which is JBL and John Cena. And I gotta give Jakks Pacific credit. They made JBL look more like JBL in the body than Mattel. Mattel has an Elite of JBL wrestling, and they use the Wade Barrett kind of long length body. He's just not that skinny, and so when they made the basic JBL in the suit. I remember taking the head off and putting it on the body to try to make it look better. But again, with how skinny the body is, it just doesn't look right. I hope they make an Ultimate JBL or maybe their Elite attempt at JBL with a little bit more, use, I wouldn't say Don Morocco body, but use something with a little bit more mass to it. He's not that thin. He was never that thin. But if you want to recreate the match, boom, there's the two right there. You can see there's even some decal on the shoes. This is from the WrestleMania 21 representation. And the main event. Now, there is an Ultimate Batista coming out, but it's not the WrestleMania 21, which I feel was a mistake. They should have made that Ultimate his WrestleMania 21. I know he already has a basic of that attire, and Jax has knocked that attire out with less deco. The Triple H is from that, except for it's missing the white around the knee pads. At first I didn't think there was one. I was able to find one in the WrestleMania Heritage Series, but it is missing the white around the knee pads, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's close enough. I mean, if that's all you're missing is that the decal's still there. You know, again, I prefer the white boots. I thought the white boots were so much thicker because usually white is more of a babyface color, and that's Triple H being a troll. I would think that that'd be a cool Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition of Batista will be cool. I'm sure it's going to be hard to find. I'm sure it's going to be very expensive. But if they were to do an Ultimate Edition of Batista, I think his WrestleMania 21 attire, I mean, obviously his newest Elite is great for updated, tattoos and whatnot, but I feel like if you're going to go with Ultimates, you're going to want to just, you're going to go with the more iconic attire looks from their prime, not their, one-off appearance one time before they retire. But you can recreate this match. So let's get to the stats. This event could not be recreated though, as you're missing one wrestler, Akebono. So 87% complete. Jax squeaks out Mattel just by 2 figures. They have 19 of the 20 figures at 95%, but Mattel's right behind him with 17 of the figures, so they're only 3 away, and both of them are missing Akebono, so technically there was 2 behind Mattel, or Jax. The accuracy is 50%, so while we didn't get 100%, we're at 50%, so that's not bad. A few little changes here and there. Obviously, we're never going to probably see another Chris Benoit figure, so we're not going to see Mattel probably bump up any higher. And I think that all they're missing is Chrissy Hemme and Chris Benoit and Akebono. So I don't see those happening. As far as catching back up, Akebono, I don't see it really happening unless some company signs them later on. But as always, thank you for watching. Ring the bell, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Hey, check back soon for WrestleMania 22 edition. You notice I didn't have the rules on this one. Like I said, after 20, I was done with the rule page. If you've been watching these videos, you know the stick. Go through the matches, talk a little bit about it, and then see how accurate they are. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure to check out the Void. Should be posted right after WrestleMania 20 last week. And get ready for the Void 21 through 30 in a few short weeks.